Yo, what's good with y'all, man? My name is Tej, and in this video, I'm going to show y'all how to make an energetic beat for SUMMRS and Lil Uzi. This beat is inspired by some of the virtual and more hyperpop sounding beats that Lil Uzi has, and is also kind of similar to some of the songs on SUMMRS' recent project. And per usual, I made this beat from scratch, so I'm going to show y'all my whole process of making the sample and adding drums to it. If you're new to the channel and you enjoyed these types of videos, be sure to hit subscribe. And if you want to know the latest on what I'm working on, including the videos, be sure to follow me on Instagram. And with all that being said, let's just hop right into the sample. So for the sample, I have a tempo of 138 beats per minute. And for these type of beats, I'd say you could be pretty versatile with them. Honestly, I couldn't really give you a range. For me personally, I like to stick within like the 140s to 150s range. So jumping into the first melody sound, I went to Purity and got the Skywalker 1 preset from the phrase section. And I believe this is the same preset that was used on March Madness by Future. The phrases in Serum are set at 120 beats per minute. So I started by moving the project tempo to 120, and then I just put 2 notes on C and had them both last for 4 measures. So I routed that to a mixer track and I put a low cut on it, and I immediately rendered that out as an audio clip. So I highlighted this dot right here to arm the mixer track, and then hit Alt R on my keyboard, hit start, and rendered it out. Once I rendered it out, I changed the project tempo back to 138 BPM, and then I put the audio clip in the playlist, and then I opened up a new pattern clip. As for the audio clip, I changed the mode to stretch, and I adjusted this time knob so that the total audio clip length was 8 measures, and then I also pitched it up by 400 cents. That means the key that this is in is now an E minor because it was originally in C minor. And I routed the audio clip to a mixer track and put some Portal on it. I put on the Samurai preset from DB's District Kit. And so going back to this pattern clip, that's where I added the remaining few melodies that I had. So after I had the first arpeggio audio clip situated, I opened up Analog Lab and I went to the Abelia Bank and got this Wilted Ambient Key preset. And it was in this pattern that I laid out my primary counter melody. And in here, I just used the E minor scale to fill out the sound a little bit more, and also just to add like some ambience and maybe a little bit of ear candy to it. When I laid this out, I didn't use too much music theory. I just added notes where I thought they sounded good or where they fit well. So I routed that to a mixer track, and I just put this fruity limiter on it and turned the gain up. And this was primarily just to make it louder so it was more significant in the mix. So after I laid out my main counter melody, I opened up Serum and I put in this lead that I had made for a different project file. And I went into the MIDI and just put in this lead pattern, and the note placement is kind of similar to the last pattern, just kind of riding the wave of that original audio pattern. And for effects, I put on some halftime and an EQ. So that was what it sounded like before I put effects on it. And after I put effects on it, it sounds like this. And after I put the lead down, I put in my last sound, which is a bass that I used in a different project. And for this bass pattern, I was mostly revolving around the root note, which is E. So once I had all my melodies completed, I rendered each of the stems out how I showed y'all with the original pattern, and I arranged each of them to make the final loop, and then I exported that as an audio file and imported it into a new project file where I added the drums. So once I had my finished and rendered loop, I imported it into a new project file and arranged the stems. And in the audio clip settings, I went and changed the mode to stretch and pitched it down by 1/2 step. So the finished loop, I actually pitched up by another 2/2 steps. So the 808s and drums are going to be in the key of F minor. So starting off with the clap, I just put this on the 3rd beat, similar to most trap beats. After the clap, I added my hi-hat. So I first started by making this core hi-hat pattern, and then I duplicated that for the rest of the pattern and just added a few variations and like these two rolls here. And similar to how I do my normal hi-hat patterns, I adjusted the velocities of the notes to add some extra bounce to it. And I also put some effect tricks on there, which is the reverse sound that you're hearing. And after that, I added this open at sound. And this is on the 4th beat on the 3rd and 7th measures. And after that sound, I added my snare. And I put it on the off beats like I normally do. And I just added a couple snare rolls using the 1/2 step snapping. And after I put down the snare, I put in this open at sound that layers with the 808. And next I put in my first of 3 808 patterns. All 3 of them are pretty straightforward. The first and second one primarily play together during the hook, and the third one plays by itself during the verses and some of the bridges. It'll make more sense once I actually play them. And the 808 sound that I'm using for the first and third pattern is this one right here. It's primarily using the root note and the 6th note of the scale. For my second 808 pattern, I put in the Chase the Money 808. And in those gaps between the root note and the 6th note, I filled it in with small accents or rolls using this 808. And for my third 808 pattern, which plays during the verses, it uses the same 808 pattern from the initial one, and it's pretty similar, except some of the rolls are a little bit more intricate, and the space at the end of the 2nd and 6th measures are filled in. So that's going to do it for this one. Hope y'all enjoyed it and found it helpful. Leave a like if you did enjoy it, and also let me know what you'd like to see me do next in the comments or any constructive feedback you have for me. And that's going to wrap it up for this one. I'll see y'all next time. Peace.
Roll up, Tess.